Yeah, Charlie.
Maniac! Yeah! Yeah, Charlie!
All right.
Young Guns, 1988. Amazing. Amazing cast. Like, I can't get over it. Emilio Estevez, Kiefer Sutherland, Lou Diamond Phillips. He is my favorite in this movie. His character is badass, but, you know, I'll gush on that later. Charlie Sheen, Dermot Mulroney. Oh, my God, just to name a few of this amazing cast.
I love this movie. It's one of my favorite Western movies. Like, I know, it's not 100% historically accurate, but I mean, it's a movie. They had to change some things to make it more movie enjoyable, I guess.
Right.
But these things did happen, and some of these characters did exist. Like Chavez, Lou Diamond Phillips, was a real person named Chavez, and was one of the regulators that rode with Billy the Kid. The few facts that change over the course of what really happened. John Tunstall, the guy who brings in the strays and you know, lets them work and teaches them how to read and stuff, some respect and everything. He was actually 25 when he died. So he wasn't that old man like they show in the movie. He was actually quite young. And when they deputize them and they say the line, none of those kids are over the age of 21, blah, blah, blah. Technically, that's 100% wrong. Billy the Kid was the only one who was under 21 out of the entire group. They were all in their late 20s, early 30s. At the end of the movie, when Murphy dies from that solo gunshot to the head, he did not die that way. During the Lincoln County War, he was fighting cancer, and he died about 3-4 months after the Lincoln County War ended. Another fun fact.
A fun fact for you.
When they were filming at nighttime, all the guys would get together and they would play music and sing. And if they were getting drunk, they would make Lou Diamond Phillips sing La Bamba because he had been in that movie in 87. Yeah.
Did he do it?
Lou Diamond Phillips would be singing La Bamba every night.
Did he? That's funny.
Right?
I don't know. I love that character.
You go in there, smart gringo, and I'll bury you there.
I think his blades, it's like his knives are amazing, and the way he handles them.
The knife throwing. And yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
When he talks about how his family was slaughtered.
My mother was cut by a saber from her privates to her neck.
And how he's like, my sister's heads were bashed in with boots.
My sisters were just babies, and they had their heads bashed in with boot heels so that the army could save bullets.
So the army could save bullets? That's like, holy shit. You've been through a lot, and yet you're not insanely crazy. Like, I don't get it.
But you know, that's so funny you bring that up, because I was watching this and I go, God, they saw people get hanged and people thought that was like amusing. What the hell was wrong with everybody?
Right? Yeah.
Like,
and I mean, nothing to gun someone down in the street.
Oh, a town square is a big event.
Dilly dilly. Dilly dilly.
You're passing out flyers and shit. It's like,
right?
No, you fucking psychos.
It's not normal, but to them, that was normal.
No, that's a little barbaric. I mean,
right?
Yeah, no wonder why our country's in shit right now. Look where we fucking started. Killing
right?
people for their land. God, just leave them alone. And let me tell you, fucking Indian cultures are so cool, man.
Mexican Indian, you son of a bitch.
Simmer down now.
Like, oh my God. I don't know, like the stuff that they know with the herbs and like the thing how Chavez found the peyote.
On the spirit road, he'll be shown a sign.
And then they go on that huge drug trip.
Butterfly flies to a flower, stays with it. Oh yeah, he's
So cool. So
And
cool.
not only was it like just a neat idea to throw in the movie because he's Native American or Mexican American or
Mexican Indian, you son of a bitch.
everybody,
I know I got that wrong. It was also the comical side of the movie.
Oops.
You know, you got Dirty Steve saying, "You see the size of that chicken?" And then he's shooting the gun. He gets on the horse and calls it a dog. And then Emilio Estevez gets on the horse backwards and rides the entire trip backwards on the horse.
I really appreciate, I guess, not necessarily having the information or photographic evidence from back then, because that wasn't something they did. They didn't
Right.
go, "Oh, we're going to a hanging selfie." You know, it's not like, you know what I mean? It's not like that. It's like, no, you fucking psychos.
Rubbish, filth, slime, muck, boo, boo, boo.
No. Okay. Like, this is crazy. But you don't know much about it, so therefore you never really truly know what happened. You know, people could write about it,
Yeah.
but I mean, that's their version of it.
That's their depiction of what they witnessed. It's
Exactly.
not, it might not be 100% accurate.
Right.
You know,
It's not
how
fact.
long, how much time went by before they wrote it down?
It's
Was
not
it a
fact.
week? Was it a
Exactly.
day? Was it an hour? You know, was it a month later? Who knows? Right?
Right.
So,
That's the thing. It's just like, it's so interesting to see how people didn't have certain things, or they made do, or they just did it, you know, because they had no other choice. And it's so funny how we've come so far.
yeah.
Like, it's insane.
I remember, I forget how old I was when I first watched this movie, and I just fell in love with it right away. It was funny. It was action. It taught me what I thought I knew about Billy the Kid and these other characters. And of course, growing up, I didn't think any of these characters were actually real people, but Doc Sherlock was a real person. Chavez was. Charlie. I don't know if Richard, as in Charlie Sheen, his character, I don't know if he was actually, I think he might have been just made up for the movie. And John Tunstall and Murphy, and then Buckshot Roberts, who goes after them. These are all real people that this all actually happened, you know?
Yeah.
Never knew that growing up. I just knew that Billy the Kid was a story, and that he was real. I didn't know
Right.
any of the other characters had anything to do with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad, because I mean, it's so, it could be so powerful because they have the control. Like I said, we really don't know what happened. So when you see something on the big screen like that, and that's somebody's version of what they've heard or what they found, doesn't mean it's true. But
Right.
it's so interesting still yet to see what comes of it.
Jesus Christ. Just playing the game, Doc. We'll give him a game, all right.
Young Guns 2, 1990. This is Emilio Estevez, Lou Diamond Phillips, Kiefer Sutherland, Christian Slater. Let's raise a glass, Christian Slater. I fucking love Christian Slater. He's such a smart ass in so many of his movies. Love him. William Petersen, Pat Garrett. He's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, John Bon Jovi, uncowboy. He's an uncowboy.
Wow.
James Coburn, he's legendary. Alan Ruck, of course, he played Cameron in Ferris Bueller. I love him. He's such a cool
that's
actor.
right.
I can't believe I like this sequel so much. It's probably because its soundtrack carries it.
Right from the opening of this movie, the music grabs you and oh, it's gonna be exciting, it's fast, it's and that sets the stage for the movie. And of course, Billy's more established now.
From the new governor. He wants to meet with you. He can't catch you. You're making him look a fool.
Go on.
Emilio Estevez kind of comes into the character a bit easier and more, and of course, Billy's a little bit older, but he's cocky.
I'll make you famous.
All the stuff he reads about himself.
And I was making one hell of a name for myself.
He's like, yeah, I'm that. Yeah, you know, I can't be killed, blah, blah, blah. You know, like he acts like he's king shit.
I had to tell you about that first, in Young Guns 1, where he's talking to the guy and he's, you know, taking his gun and he's like,
That their gun killed Ed Rollins.
Is that right?
the kid's like,
Hey, barkeep, let's have a little...
like, it's so funny. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. And he's like, oh, I see him. Stupid ass. He is such a prankster. I love the whorehouse. Like, I love any type of saloon and any type of like, oh, honey. I don't know. I think that's so freaking cute. I don't know why. I just really like that.
She plays the role really well. Like when she comes out naked, she comes out and drops all of her clothes off.
Oh, my Lord.
He gets on the horse and goes, well, Arkansas, you can kiss my ass.
White Oaks, you can kiss my ass.
The guy's like, woo, yeah, honey.
Time, honey.
I literally just watched it. What the hell?
I remember that scene because I'm like, oh my God, that lady's butt is on the TV. I really liked her and then she helped out Billy escape. So
yeah,
I really like that. I was like, oh my God, she's really funny. But I mean, Kiefer Sutherland, he's such a pinnacle. And then you have Christian Slater, who brings the smart assness to it. If, you know, Emilio Estevez wasn't enough for you.
You can go to hell.
right.
You know?
Like,
and then Lou Diamond Phillips is still kicking ass. Like, he has like the best hair. But him in this movie, and then between him and Christian Slater, the knife fight, and then the knife goes through his hand. Oh, I love that. He's like, you want your knife back?
Yeah,
oh.
Pulls it out. Yeah. Crazy.
So awesome, right? Love that shit.
It was funny how like the boys just said, okay, you guys go duke it out. And then when it got a little too serious, they were like, all right, enough is enough.
Fight it out like men and you deal with it after that.
Right? Yeah. So a few historical things for Young Guns too. Doc Sherlock did not get shot and killed then and there. He actually lived to be the ripe age of 80. And he did after gunslinging with Billy the Kid, like different odd jobs and stuff. And then eventually he actually became like a really high member of society. And he died from old age at the age of 80.
Billy the Kid was shot and killed by Pat Garrett. Everybody knows that. It's common knowledge.
When they say that Pat Garrett shot him, when he finally got to him, because I mean he broke out of jail so many times.
We're never on the job, Bob.
From them, when he finally got him and shot him, they say that he didn't have any weapons on him. He didn't have any guns or anything. He was shot, point blank. That's not true. The witnesses from that night say that he was wielding a butcher knife and a handgun when he got shot by Pat Garrett. But then the other thing is, the whole movie's based around this old guy.
That you're bringing in Rashid Bill Roberts, alias William Antrim, also known as William H. Bonney.
Whoa. William H. Bonney?
Alias Billy the Kid.
In the 30s, connecting with a lawyer to be pardoned for all of his crimes before he dies. William Bushy Roberts, I think his name was. And he claimed to be Billy the Kid, but there were, I guess, some older gentlemen that knew Billy the Kid when he was younger, and they debunked it and said that it wasn't him. But no one knows for sure because, I mean, they hadn't seen him in years, and he was presumed to be dead. So they don't actually know if that guy in 1930 was him or not, and he actually passed away a few months later after that.
I wonder if the dates match up, and that's correct. I thought it was, I don't know about that. Okay, no. 1859 to like 1930, that's way off. There's no fucking way that could have been that guy.
Well, yeah, it could have been because they
Oh,
it was 1930 at the very beginning of the movie when the lawyer pulled off to the side of the road and met this guy on the horse. And he was like 80 years old.
makes
Now,
sense.
1930 was at the very beginning of the movie. Then he tells the story of what happened, right?
Well, right, but how old? Okay, how old would he have been?
He would have been like, yeah, in his like probably mid 80s.
I guess it is possible. 74. Okay, yeah, that is possible.
Right?
Yeah,
And that's why this guy claimed to be Billy the Kid, but supposedly that was decredited, but no one knows for
a
sure.
74-year-old man doesn't usually live that long, especially if he was shot that many times. You know, it doesn't really add up. I mean, I guess maybe, but I don't fully believe that, because from what I understand, Billy the Kid was just like a regular street kid. He wasn't even like a gunslinger.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I wasn't there.
Right? Yeah. I think they said he was pretty good with a gun, but I mean, even if you're good with a gun doesn't mean you can live forever.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
especially back then. When was the life expectancy back then? You got like 24 and you were lucky?
Yeah,
I
right?
mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying that old man's a liar, but I don't necessarily believe him.
Right.
That's my take on it. I've always liked that one versus the original, just because, like I said, I feel like it moves a little quicker, and then the John Bon Jovi song is just amazing. But I mean, the whole score with the film is amazing. God, it's just so good. It just makes the film so much more impactful.
Yeah, and it suits it so well, like with the scenes that they're showing while they're playing each bit of music and stuff in it. The only thing that I kind of miss from this one, it doesn't have a big dramatic ending like the first one, where you're seeing the house on fire and then all of a sudden the chest comes out the window and then Billy the Kid just pops out. You know, like, that was iconic. That was a huge scene. And this one doesn't, like, this huge battle scene is kind of like 3/4 into the movie, and then there's a bit more movie, or that one's like at the very end of the movie. So it throws it off a little bit, but it's still fantastic.
Yeah, I used to have this movie poster in my room.
Oh, that's awesome. I hope you all go back and watch our other episodes if you haven't already. Come check out the new episodes as they come out each week. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.